Hello,
You ready now?
everybody. We made it to the third one. Yay. Oh, I might just be assuming that the guys who are listening to me now are the ones who were with me for video one and video two. If you weren't, then and you are just joining us, you might want to go back to video one to follow the conversation. We have had some ruckus fun on here today discussing how William ended up trapping himself while he was trying to trap Megan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was trying to trap Megan. He fell into the hole he was trying to dig for Megan. Ain't God good?
Hmm. Be careful of the grave you dig for somebody else. It may end up being your own.
When you end up being your own, and that's exactly what happened to him.
And
Anyway,
poor
did
Kate.
you guys see the article news
Oh, I didn't hear you. I think you went out on me again. Did we hear? Did I hear what? Uh oh. Uh oh. I don't hear anything. Can you? I can't hear you.
to continue to the next generation? Not even,
Oh, there you go.
not
Oh, we're going in and out again.
not even given. Oh, William has ended up locking himself up, locking himself. You know, when you're trying to, um, I keep Sussex love. You know, when we were younger, is part of what the lady that I was talking to you about said yesterday made me laugh because this was my thoughts when I got married the first time. It was just like, no matter how upset I am or I got with my first ex husband, I would always say, well, you have to eat. You have to eat the physical food and you have to eat the one in the bedroom as well. So forget the beef.
Okay. I have protein for you.
Protein of all types. Like, you have to forget the beef. And this is Wheezy After Dark, guys.
Yes, apparently. No children. You put your children to bed, everybody, or something. They're in here joining.
I would say, no matter what is happening, you can't, those two things cannot be compromised. Are you so mad that you would go out hungry? Why? And you still, despite the fact that you're not happy with me, but you still got to fulfill your obligations as a husband. This, well, to me, it's like I was able to compartmentalize and at that young age, like one thing to me doesn't have anything to do with the other. And this dude would be looking at me like, what do you mean? We just had a row. And then you're saying you need to kiss me. I'm not into all that. Leave me alone.
It's usually the woman that is usually the woman that want them to touch you because they're pissed, you know.
Yeah.
And y'all were reversed. That's what it was. Reversed. You're like, what is happening?
Oh my god. But I just say that because for me I think that was the beginning of me growing out of the childish behavior where if you're not happy with someone and then you begin to keep malice or you keep begin to uh, isolate yourself. That's just something
Mm-hmm.
that fell away from me in that relationship altogether. And,
Right.
and even when when we had family members come around, like sometimes when he's amused by it, he would just look at me and say, "You know, you're not all right. There's something wrong with you." Or when he's upset, he would be like, "You really are not all right."
Wow. Time for business, huh? But I hear you. But
Mm.
I was, and then you would have agreed, but I would be on the other side because if he made a move too soon, I would probably throw a plate at him. You know? He used to say to me that when we were really mad and really arguing, that if I threw a plate, he exclamation point. I was using like exclamation points, and he would just swat them away calmly. You know what I mean? He wasn't upset. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's just like what William, so that childish behavior of well, it is one thing to be upset and reacting to it or whatever, but when you start
Mm-mm. I think you went out on me. We'll keep talking. Maybe I'll come back in. Uh-oh. Nope. I don't hear you now.
it's almost like if William had the opportunity to save Harry if he was losing um blood, he would not even offer it, even though he could save him, just because he's upset. This is the kind of situation that I'm like talking about. Like, that is the extreme of childishness. It's so childish. It really, really is. And at the age that we're at now, that should not be the case. What have you got to beef about? You live in a palace, for goodness sake. You drive the
Past that,
best
because his
cars.
father is the same. It's past that. His father is the same. They are both so full of envy and jealousy. It's not even childish anymore. It's just as human beings, they're selfish and petty, and they have emotionally, they're emotionally stunted grown people acting like children because they don't have any emotional maturity because nobody's taught them anything. They just let them kind of grow up like weeds doing what they want to do.
You guys remember that program where they say, is it Life Swap? Because I was just going to say, it seems like suffering is good for the soul. Like when you suffer a bit, it pierces the sense of self importance and all of those toxic emotions that can make you the way Charles and William have turned out.
Hmm.
It's
It's definitely good for developing you as a human being, giving you
for
empathy
sure.
skills.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think we need to do life swap between King Charles and William and some of the kings and traditional rulers in Africa. And not even the wealthy ones, like the ones that are well known. They need to go into the forests, like bush.
Hmm. William would probably like that. He'd probably get another chance to sleep rough with a black man.
Woo!
Let's move.
That was
Oh,
very
are
good.
you all right,
Well
Autumn?
done.
Y'all,
That
you
was
all
a
right?
slam dunk. Anyways, but he just seems like someone who would also be an insecure boss. There's nothing worse than being working with someone who is insecure because they want you to do the job, and when you do it too well, they get jealous of you for doing your job well. And then they want to take all the credit for your job. Literally want to take the credit for your very existence as well. Lady Rose
And they're going to steal
says
everything they can for you from you so they can shine.
it's inbred blood. That blood has disadvantages with maturity and other emotions dysregulation.
I'm reading what Lady Rose is saying too.
Anyway, so guys, how is everyone
Wow.
doing? If you're just joining me, welcome to Isabella
Wow.
Bank's YouTube channel where we discuss all things Harry, Meghan, and their
So
level of
they're
journey.
mentally challenged, are they, Lady Rose?
If you're new here, I'm Wizzy, and it's great to meet you virtually. How has your week been so far? I'm just gonna pause to say hello to those people who are just joining us. Sussex Spotlight, hey. Lakiva, hello. I eat me something. I was hungry. Okay. Uh, Megan sent the King of Nigeria a letter of appreciation for her kindness. I saw that while I popped into Twitter not too long ago. Okay, so it's hello, hello, hello to everyone. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, let's continue. So, Meghan Markle and Harry's presidential visit shows they want to have their cake and eat it. And for me, this just represents another attack on Harry and Meghan by the British media following their visits to Nigeria. Oh, I haven't done this. So if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel and join our membership if you care. Please note that if you're unable to join the membership, you're able to also support the channel with PayPal donations. Okay, so the link to the PayPal is, I will drop it in the chat now. Please go ahead to support the channel with PayPal donations if you can. Where is it? PayPal donations. Uh, so then when I try to get it, it's not now copying. PayPal. Okay, there you go. That allows me to keep on putting out the content that I do. Sussex Love was with me today and she saw how much work it takes to put these presentations
Yes,
together.
yes. And I was trying not to panic while we were doing when I was getting lost. So yes, I see how much work it takes.
It
So
does.
I'm
It
gonna.
really, really does. It for one of these videos, it typically takes me like 8 hours to put everything together because you're not just taking random images or articles, you're stitching a story together, which is why for anyone who wants to do YouTube, what knowing how to tell a story is part of the things that you have to learn. And I cannot even tell you that I have necessarily mastered the art, but for doing this, you know about what people do or what someone demonstrated in front of me to teach me how to do it was to get, they have these digital whiteboards where you can um, you kind of brainstorm, which means that you just put the things that you want to add to your story to the whiteboard randomly. And then you begin to stitch the story by putting in columns the different things. For instance, if we're talking about William, then you put all the articles that you have mined from all the various websites that you have visited, collecting the information. So you just kind of put William's content to one side, Kate's content to one side. And it's not just that, it's just also about following the dates to see what is the trend. So that's how I kind of also come up with the title of the video, because you can see all right, what happened last week, in between who said what, so where they're going. So even if they're not necessarily saying what they're saying out loud, you can read in between the lines because you've been following the trend. Didn't mean to do a YouTube instructional, but I was
I
just
was listening because I'm still working on getting my channel together, so I was listening to
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, but there are a lot more people who are a lot more experienced than I'm doing. But when you're ready, we can talk behind the scenes. A lot of people are not
Okay,
interested in that content,
right. Yes.
so let me not bore them with that.
All
So
right.
anyway, guys, there was this. So if you visited my channel before without subscribing, please go ahead to subscribe to my channel. We are almost at 4,000 subscribers and we are almost there. Can you believe
All
that we
right.
are short 30 36 subscribers to get to 4,000? And to all my dedicated loyal subscribers, thank you so much for your unwavering support. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Mo-
We appreciate you. Did Quinn E said that
mm,
Megan sent the King of Nigeria a letter of appreciation for their kindness.
yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't see it before. While I was preparing the um presentation for this live stream, but you know that 10-minute break that we had before this video began, I went onto Twitter and I saw it. So maybe next
Oh,
time
okay.
when I'm doing my next video, I can talk about that.
Well, that's Megan. Of
Mm,
course she would. So that's not really a
of
surprise.
course, I'm
She
not
was
even
raised
surprised.
properly.
I'm sure she would have even done more than that. Um,
Right. She probably did. Yeah.
most probably did. I expect that she most probably did more than that. But what I am happy to see is the budding of this relationship between herself and the kings. I love the fact that they have extended. Uh, it's almost like a fatherly covering over her, which is replacing the
Mm-hmm.
numbskull of a father whom
Mm-hmm.
did what
Yes.
he
The
did.
sperm donor.
Yes, and that would be so very healing for her to say, yeah, okay, I'm just meeting these men. They don't even know me, and yet they've made so much
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice just to come see me, and they've
Mm-hmm.
given so much of themselves to do
Well,
this.
it's not a surprise that they're wise. They are kings after all.
Mm. Well, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so because that was a brilliant move because it gave a finger to the royal family. You know, her being having 43% Nigerian blood, it was the king saying, you know what, you can keep your Duchess title because our lineages, our royalty further than yours, and she is our princess now. So
Mm.
I thought that was just a brilliant, brilliant move. You know, to
Yeah,
just
I
let
think
them
I
know,
even
you know,
started
no,
talking
you.
about it, and I didn't think I completed my thought. So, the Nigerian trip actually was similar to what Harry was able to accomplish with the Spencers appearing at the church. See, because you keep on saying,
Mm,
return our titles to us. Okay, how about Meghan getting, though they didn't know it was going to happen because it was all a surprise, right? So
right.
how about Meghan? Because she got two chieftaincy titles. That's what they call them, chieftaincy titles, right? So she's received two titles actually. The one from the man in Arochukwu, Ada, the Ada title, and the second one is from, I think the
Mm-hmm.
letter that she wrote now that people are talking about is the one to the Olowu. I will go into further detail about it in my next video so that we understand exactly
Mm-hmm.
what happened with this letter.
Queen is rolling, waxing poetic. Queen says, care of Meghan and Harry on another level. Touch not my anointed.
And I'm sure Megan's father, sorry, touch not my anointed. Yeah. And Megan's ancestors have been working, protecting her even before she touched foot in Nigeria. They did for her. It's like, let me just say this before I move on. With the behavior of her father, your
Mm-hmm.
parents are kind of like your covering. And when her father embarrassed her to the extent that he did, it's almost
Mm.
like he stripped her naked in the presence of everyone. People might say it more gentle
Mm-hmm.
than that and say he embarrassed her, but he went beyond that. He literally stripped her naked, and these men just came with their covering, and that's why they call it covering. They covered her and say, "You are our daughter. We are standing behind you, we're protecting you. No one can tell you that as far as Nigeria is concerned, you don't have a place here. No one can tell you in Nigeria that you don't have a title to respond to. No, you
Mm-hmm.
you have two titles. How about that?"
There it is. That's right. And one that's even older than the one they gave you.
Yeah. Hmm. Two titles. Anyway, so I saw this article and I cackled. I cackled, I cackled, I cackled. It seems to me that the royal family write about their feelings as though they use the media as a diary. They finally are able to admit that Harry and Meghan overshadow them, even with their pomp and circumstance, wealth, influence, and everything that makes them royal. They are unable to deny or continue to deny that Harry and Meghan overshadow them. The funny thing is that one of these young people overshadows them with a jam jar, not to talk about when the two of them are out together.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world has seen it, and their power and influence they resonate with such that, especially in that Nigerian trip, listen, it was like power meeting power and being it was the synergy was just ridiculous. Like if it was like a couple, man and woman meeting, the chemistry was off the
It would
chain.
be like fate. It would be like
Yes,
fate. Yeah. That's
chemistry was just
it
off
was
the chain. I have not seen that reaction in like people get excited, don't get me wrong, but I've not seen that kind of is almost even Harry relaxed after a couple of hours in
yeah,
Nigeria.
that's true. That's
When
true.
the mothers were pulling him in one direction and pulling Megan and then giving him things and giving Megan things and wanting to feed them, it's almost like this is almost
I think
overwhelming
Harry
for them almost,
relaxed.
I think.
Harry relaxed when he saw how great the security was for them.
Mm,
Because Harry's always about looking out. He's always looking. You can see he's checking the perimeter. You can see the soldier. He always checks the perimeter, even with the
yes,
guards. There,
that's true.
he's checking the ground. You know what I mean? I think he relaxed when he saw what great security was
Mm.
there for him. Then I think it was like a somewhat of a weight off of his shoulder. You know what I'm
Shoulders. For
saying?
once, he doesn't
It
have
seemed
to
like to me.
be on 2000.
Yes,
Yes.
there it is. Be like on 1500, you know, or 1000, you know. Because you got to stay up because, you know, they're always, God knows what his family would do. Because they
Mm.
are, as a reporter said, they're ruthless. And that was a British, they are ruthless. So, you know.
So I am so happy that they were able to have that experience. And you remember what I was telling you about the political dynamic behind the trip, because we're all a lot of people are looking at it as the hearts and flowers part of it, but there was a lot of political push and pull
Mm-hmm.
going on with that trip. And what got them through it was Megan's 43%. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it was left to just the British side, Nigeria may have had to concede to the pressure
Right.
of the royal family,
Right.
the
To to the crown.
to the crown, to the government, because they're part of the Commonwealth, because of maybe their dependence on UK support, however little and appreciated that support might be. However, whatever it is their connection with the UK. They might have had to concede. But because of Megan's 43%, it put them in a stronger position to be able to say, yeah, we hear you. We hear you saying that you don't want us to treat them like they're members of the royal family. However, this is our daughter coming back home. Are you going to tell us
Exactly.
how to treat our
Exactly.
daughter? Again, she's not your citizen. I'm speaking with my code switching right now so
Yes,
that you
she's
can
not your
hear.
subject. She is not your
She's
subject.
not your subject.
She
She
is
is
not your
our
subject.
daughter. Yeah. And so that was the reason why we didn't see a huge welcome, I think, at the airport. We didn't see Harry and Meghan at Asurok. Asurok is Nigeria's version of the White House. We didn't see them at even the more president. They say, what was this? Okay, it's not in this one. I think it's in. Okay, one of the articles that I'm talking about today says Harry and Meghan.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
going in and out, so I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
one of the articles that I'm talking about today says that Harry and Meghan's presidential visit to Nigeria shows that they want to have their cake and eat it. And the funny thing is that their visit to Nigeria wasn't even presidential. It wasn't even presidential because the president and his first lady weren't even directly present at any of the proceedings, though they must have been orchestrating things behind the scenes. And to tell you how bitter um, the British people were, not just bitter, bitter, they're very threatened because, as I try to explain, Nigeria is seen as mostly, I think, to a large degree, the giant of Africa is what they used to call Nigeria. And when things start in Nigeria, all the other African nations are quite interested in it if Nigeria is interested in it, just because they tend to feel like Nigeria, in some things at least, does very well. And so Nigeria's military is strategic for the rest of the African countries in terms of their size as well. So um, that's one of the reasons why Nigeria is important in the region. And to tell you how threatened the UK were by Harry and Meghan's visit to Nigeria, they sent the former UK Prime Minister, Tony Blair, to visit the President of Nigeria. See this article that says President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday, May 28th, which was about how many days ago now? May 28th, which was about 5 days ago, Tony Blair visited Nigeria. He went to Nigeria and he went straight to the president. It doesn't explain what he was there for, but of course, you and I know that they would have only You and I know that he would have only been there to discuss Harry and Meghan's trip. And I'm sure they would have liked to be able to say, but why did you welcome them in such a grand fashion? And Meghan's 43% will allow them to confidently say, did you not hear the girl say that she is a Nigerian or at least part Nigerian? We have to welcome our daughter well. When our daughters who have done well abroad come home, we welcome them back with big feasts. So our welcome was in no way excessive. So I don't even think it's your place to tell us how we are going to welcome our daughter. And I think at that point they would shut up. Uh, Let me look at your comments. Lorna says, according to Peace, a squaddy that was on the trip said Harry turned down a lot of things that were like royal, like the red carpet at his hospital visit to soldiers. He went through the back door. I can completely believe that. He was also trying to turn down. Uh, he was trying to avoid the accusation that he comes for being a new member or of Isabella Banks' YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thierry says, what was the reason for Tony Blair's visit? They didn't say. They wanted to know about every aspect of why Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria, but they didn't disclose the reason why the former Prime Minister of UK went to Nigeria. Lady Rose says you'll be surprised Blair went there for an oil business deal. Well, I would not be surprised entirely because one of the things, actually, this is not exactly connected to what we are talking about, but I'll go there a little bit. So, one of the things Nigeria has had to deal with over time is that when they are able to extract the crude oil from wherever, then they have to export the oil out of Nigeria, have it refined, and then they send it back to Nigeria before Nigeria is able to use it. Of course, you can imagine how much money that costs. But in recent times, one of the richest men in Nigeria, Dangote, has been able to build a refinery for Nigeria to deal with the refining of the crude oil so that the oil doesn't need to be sent out of the country anymore. I think it cost him about $15 billion to build the refinery to process all the crude oil in Nigeria. And I think what they're going to do is that they're also, apart from this one, they're going to build an alternative so that if anything goes wrong, they would have an alternative refinery available for the processing of crude oil in Nigeria. So I'm sure the people or the stakeholders who were interested in Nigeria not being able to process their own crude oil have been standing back and watching very nervously at the developments in Nigeria because these people like to keep us poor so that we keep on coming to them for money, for whatever, so that they will not remove their leash or release us from whatever obligations we owe to the West for whatever they think that we owe them. Anyway, continuing on with their attack, you've got Richard Fitzwilliams Royal Rota saying Prince Harry and Meghan risk being objects of mockery on next quasi royal tour. How do the Sussexes choose another country to visit with what relevance? They had Commonwealth patronages from Queen Elizabeth but gave them up. Of course, Prince Harry and Meghan risk being objects of mockery on next quasi royal tour, but that would only be if they're going to the country on a royal tour. Their visit to Nigeria was not a royal tour, it was on behalf of Invictus. Or are you going to say Meghan going to her hometown is a royal tour? How does that equate to common sense? But of course, I forgot. We're talking about the British media, and none of it has to do with common sense. Um, Thierry says Harry is very humble. He doesn't like the over the top greetings. Oh, well, he's just going to have to deal with it because Nigerians do over the top greetings. Uh, they said Niger is dangerous. Wasn't Blair scared to go there? A prominent English politician. Exactly. Egbami, help me ask them. Oh, Lady Rose, help me ask them. Help me to ask them. Uh, Queen, that's so true. I wonder if he keeps in touch with his play mom and dad. Uh,
Who's play mom and dad?
uh, I forgot their name. He wrote about them in Spare. Harry's, should we say adopted? Not adopted, formally adopted, but the gentleman and lady, was it in South Africa, who were
Oh,
so kind to him that he referred to in Spare.
oh, okay. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
Lorna Williams says, yes, the money and resources is not from what's coming out of the ground, but in the finished product. And the finished product has the highest value. Yes. So that's one of the things, like they're very nervous about Nigeria now because of the refinery that they have now built that we're going to be taken care of by ourselves, effectively kicking them out for the second time. We're getting freer and freer as time has gone by, but oh my
That is
God, what a
they
cost!
don't see black people making money. They
Mm,
did by strangling all the other brown people out.
right.
They
What
kept
at what cost? It's been so expensive. Can you imagine what $15 billion means for one businessman in Nigeria? That's a lot of money.
yes, a
Anyway,
lot.
all in all, we can certainly say that Harry and Meghan, Meghan especially, made the media cry. Uh, honestly, I feel like this is a William and Charles issue. All these articles attacking Harry and Meghan since they came back from Nigeria, um, just because of how well they handled the engagements they went on, they could never, for sure. And I am sure that Meghan and Harry, the most sensible thing for William and Charles to do would be to negotiate with Meghan and Harry. The most sensible thing for William and Charles to do would be to negotiate with Meghan and Harry. But that would mean that they would have to come to the negotiating table like equals. And that I fear may be where their problem would be.
Negotiate with them about what?
Um Negotiate with them about resources. So their fear is that Harry and Meghan will be going to a place or wherever they're going in the world. It would overshadow them to the point that other countries, this is just what I'm thinking in my head, will overshadow them to the point that every benefit they used to get from other countries would go to Meghan and Harry now, not to them, and they would have to
Like
struggle.
what benefit? I don't understand what benefits they think that Harry and Meghan is going to take from them.
Oh, they don't want them to get anything.
Okay, I was going to say because it has nothing to do with them. Harry and Meghan have charities, which they should focus on their own charities, which are going bankrupt, which Kate and William just said we're just not going to do.
You're
But
talking as if you're talking about normal people. These people are not okay.
well, then they Harry and Meghan can't go through their life trying to plot and plan and negotiate with them when they're not negotiating from a place of reality. You know, they
Yes, this is why I said to you, this is why I said that the better thing for Charles and William to do, I'm putting the onus on Charles and William, not Harry and Meghan. If they want to get what they want to get and they want to assure themselves that, okay, you're going for what you said you're going for, and it's not going to disrupt the things that I've got in place. The better thing to do is to have a conversation, right? Have a
I,
conversation and say, Look, you're out of the royal family now. I've got this XYZ going on here. I've got this XYZ going on here. We can come to some kind of agreement. That's what countries do with each other when they've got competing interest in resources.
that's
And
right, and it's smart. And
that's
Harry
the smarter thing to do rather
and
than all of this cloak and dagger stuff that they're doing.
but William Charles are smart, or maybe they're just more envious. Charles cannot stand that Harry and Meghan have the spotlight. He was jealous of his own wife because people loved her and nobody liked him. And so I don't think it matters what they do if they're out there and they're getting love and attention.
Mm.
He just can't stand it. I just
Yeah,
think
well, this is the thing because for the first time, for the first time, they are having members of the royal family who are succeeding outside of the royal family. So now it's really like an affront because before it's almost like how they used to talk about why women didn't leave their husbands in those days. And people used to say, well, marriages lasted so long. Yeah, they lasted so long because some women couldn't leave. They would
that's
have
right.
left if they could, you
That's
know?
right.
It's similar to other members of the royal family who wanted to leave but didn't have maybe the resources, the wherewithal, the knowledge on how they could survive. Harry and Meghan have got the full package. They've got the resources, they know how to do the things, and if they don't know exactly, they don't have the specialized knowledge that they need, they know how to get people and work with people who will assist them with the knowledge that they need but don't have. But the royal family, for some reason, with all the wealth, this is the amazing thing that I don't get. With all the wealth that they have, they don't seem to be able to use their resources to make themselves better.
They don't think there's anything wrong with themselves, so why would they try to make themselves better?
Good point. Good
They
point.
just they just want to exist in people to just bask in their glory. And they can't understand why people refuse to bask in their glory and they're paying attention to Harry and Meghan.
Mm. Anyway, so but for how long are they going to do this? Because they are going to humiliate themselves. That's where I see this going. They're going to do this until they're humiliated. Um, if Harry and Meghan got this reception in Nigeria, so now they what okay, so among African countries, they've got a friendly rivalry. Okay. So now Nigeria has set the standard. Okay. Any country that Harry and Meghan go to will be aiming to beat Nigeria's standard anywhere they go to.
That's true, which is great, Harry.
So right there, going to how many of the people are you? I mean, how do you think you even look? Writing to people and said, "My son is coming to your country with his wife. Don't attend to him. Don't meet him at the airport. Don't do this." And then people are going to, Africans are not like that. Africans are very family oriented. They're going to be saying, "This, there's something wrong with this man. Oh, there's something wrong with him."
Oh, the Nigerian press have already said they've had all these kind of guests on the Nigerian news. I've gotten hooked on them. They drug that whole country back
Mhm,
and forth, one by one. The government, the royal family, the British
mhm.
press, they dragging everybody that had anything to do with being disrespectful to Nigeria. So, I mean, their time is coming. I've been praying that God sends them to Ireland next.
Ireland. Is there something in Ireland? What's in Ireland?
Well, I mean, other than them being really, really, really white,
Yeah.
and they're aren't they a part of the is it the Commonwealth? Aren't they a part of something? Because
I
they've
know
been,
that they're okay. I know that they're part of the EU, but I don't think they're
but it had to do with England because they were fighting. England, remember, half of them, the Protestant and Catholic, and then the
right.
Arab. It was fighting.
I know that
What
they
were
don't like the British. That's for sure.
Well, I know they were fighting with them over something. I thought they were part of them, and they were. Well, I never understood that anyway. But anyway, I would really love because they're on the side of the Palestinians against
Israel.
Israel, and
Hmm.
their prime minister gave a impassioned speech condemning Israel at the was that
Because the
the
Irish were
I
colonized by the
court,
British.
huh?
The Irish were colonized by the British.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I wish they would go there first because I would love to see them pick a fight with Ireland because Ireland will not have it because they're not having it with Israel and they're not going to have it with Great Britain.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's come. Oh, uh, sorry. Lady Rose says I haven't responded to your question about emergency kits. I haven't seen any reference to emergency kits.
Me either.
Uh, Kits
I don't.
UK.
Anybody know? Gwen, do you know? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it either.
I'm just googling it now. Um, I will look into it. Oh, it's from about a week ago, where it says government advises households to prepare for national crisis emergency kits. Oliver Dowden says homes should be self-sufficient in case of events like floods, power outages, cyber attacks, or war. If the government was working, why do we need to do that?
I'm telling you. Exactly. That's what the taxes and stuff was before. For them to do
Mm,
their job. See, I told you your army and everything has just fallen to the point where if somebody was to attack you, you'd be messed up because then you'd have to work
yeah.
with that get there to help you. You know?
So that is us done with the Sussex news update, and I will look at the issue of this that you just mentioned and the letter of the king. Meghan wrote to the king. I'll probably look at that tomorrow. That's fine, and it's would be the perfect thing to do. It's very appropriate for her to say. I'm sure she would have even done more than that, as a matter of fact. That's all that the letter is all that they have chosen um,
Yeah.
to share with the public. So, guys, Are you ready for episode 12 of Archetypes?
I don't. What you say, cookies and cream about NASA being lost because of colonization?
Right. Okay.
I'm
Nana
not.
is a
What?
lost
Can you
cause
see
with her
cookies and cream's tweet?
colonizing.
I mean tweet.
Yeah. Nana is a lost cause with her colonizing mindset. She has basically sold her soul. She's going to get a rude awakening of what she is. She has
You see
not only
cookies and
sold her
cream's
soul, she
tweet.
sold her eyebrows, her hair, her beauty, everything. Lady Rose says, I am ready. Okay, so let's begin because we've been on for this one for 50 minutes and I don't want to keep you for much longer. So, starting with the question on the screen, which is what was the name of the kids' science show? They when they say author, it's actually Megan that they're referring to. Used to love. A. The Magic Bus. B. Bill Nye the Science Guy. C. Reading Rainbow. D. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Quiz. So you've got 3 seconds to go before I need an answer. So let me let me do that again. Hold on. 15 seconds. Okay. Right. Then what is the answer to that one? That is B, Bill Nye.
Yep. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
All right. So, question number two. Which activities did the author, that's Megan, enjoy as a child? A, playing sports, painting, reading. B, cooking, gardening, writing letters. C, dancing, acting, drawing. D, swimming, hiking, singing. 15 seconds starts now. And mhm. All right. Let's see what the answer is. Cooking, gardening, writing letters. Now, I think not all of you are answering this question on your own. You're looking.
You're
I
not gonna
think
call Lady
some
Rose.
people are doing Ojoro, yeah, looking at somebody else's own and answering from there. Because the bees that came out all of a sudden were just too. Lady Rose says you're not cheating. Hmm. I
Okay.
didn't say anything. Oh.
We didn't mention the name.
Okay, let's go to the third one. What concept did Megan stumble across in one of the books on her bedside table? A. Quantum mechanics. B. Neuroplasticity. C. Genetic engineering. D. Cognitive dissonance. And your 15 seconds, that's no. My Lady Rose says my internet is slow. So what internet did you use to give us that comment? I want to know.
It's going in and out. I know mine is.
Sussex Spotlight. You can't say E, I don't know. Just do what the others are doing. Take Lady Rosie's answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Silly.
All right, let's look at the answer to that question. Uh, B. So who said B? Do you know? Nobody said B. Mm-hmm. Wheezy said you're suspecting me for nothing, no. After I think I almost enjoy these quizzes more than everybody else because it just makes
Just community hanging out. Uh-oh. You went out again on me.
me all the laughter, right? Next one is according to Dr. Tara Brock, what does neuroplasticity describe? A, the brain's inability to change. B, the capacity to keep learning and growing throughout a lifetime. C, the fixed nature of neural connections, the process of aging in the brain. And
I say C. Whoops. I didn't mean to say it out loud. That's probably wrong way. C is wrong.
mm, and so let's see. Let's see what the answer to this one is. B, the capacity to keep learning and growing throughout a lifetime. Let me see. You know, the only person's answers I want to see is Lady Rose's ones. Oh my word. Oh dear. All right. Um, Karen says we are all cheating. Yes. Yes, that's just the fun of it all, isn't it? It's not that deep. What stereotype about women does Megan mention in the text? A. Women are logical and unemotional. That was the podcast when they say text. I'm talking about the podcast because I had to put it into text form to create the questions. So, A. Women are logical and unemotional. B. Women are weak, emotional, and oversensitive. C. Women are always happy and carefree. D. Women are strong and independent. In 15 seconds starts now.
Keep using use your same letter like you always do, Lady Rose.
Lady Rose said I
Okay.
was the first to answer. You said
What did she put? B?
B.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's see what the answer is. Women are weak, emotional, and overly sensitive. Really? Okay. See,
Stereotype.
what TV show is mentioned as having been created by Andy Cohen? A. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. B. The Real Housewives. C. Survivor. D. Big Brother. And
Use your favorite letter. This time it'll work, Lady Rose.
I win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Lady Rose, we have seen it. You said beep, 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 beep,
And then what?
Oh my goodness. Yes. And B, so that was the Real Housewives.
Everybody knows that, Andy Cohen.
Everybody knows that one. But I almost got confused because they put the Kardashians in there. And
That,
he's connected to
that,
the Kardashians, isn't he?
no, it's Ryan, the one from American Idol, Ryan, whatever
Oh,
his name.
Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's him.
Okay. Why did Megan stop watching The Real Housewives? A, she found it boring. C, she had enough drama in her own life. C, she didn't like cast members. D, she preferred other TV shows.
Well, it could be two of them. I know, A or D. Oops. Well, I just said two. It might be. I don't know.
And two people put C down when you said C. Uh,
I didn't say C. Well, they didn't hear me, so that's good because I said A or D. I didn't hear either one.
At
But
this point, I think somebody needs to check on Cynthia because Lady Rose has taken over her spot. And
wow.
Sussex Spotlight says Megan would not reveal A, B, or C.
No,
A,
yeah, I think
okay.
if I listen, I remember them wrong. Yeah, I think. Well, I guess. Well, okay. Well, then it have to be. Okay.
All right, let's find out. B, she had enough drama in her own life.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know
I
that's
think
right.
they talked about it, but you know how some things can sound a lot harsher when it's
Mm,
written down? This is one of those things because
okay.
when she was talking to Andy Cohen, they talked about how the women in, I had to listen to it again yesterday, about how the women were always fighting. And she said it just used to make her heart race. And she definitely felt like um, it was adding stress to her
Mm,
life. And when
yeah.
she thought about it, she just felt like, you know what, I have enough going on. And when you look at it against the backdrop of what was going on with her and Harry and all the shenanigans of the royal family, I think everybody kind of understood that.
You see that Sussex spotlight put maybe B as backup.
There you go. What is more charged for women than the word be? The word diva, the word difficult, the word bossy, the word feminist.
Mm.
Elegant pause. We'll come to you in a minute. We're just playing a game. We've got two more questions and we go back to chatting again. Diva.
Hmm.
Okay. The word is difficult. So who said difficult? I didn't see anybody. Okay, I saw someone. I saw someone. I saw someone.
Is that
A Sussex spotlight. You said
B
make
for
a.
backup?
Oh my god. Oh dear. Hmm. Maybe B as both like as backup. Would that qualify as a correct answer, Sussex Love?
Well, she said B. She didn't have to say what it was for. But she did say B.
According to the podcast, why has the Real Housewives show lasted for so long? A,
I
it's purely about fighting and drama. B, it shows women empowering themselves. C, it focuses on men defining women. D, it has a lot of humor and comedy. Well, not so much since Nene left,
yeah,
but
I just never that show.
I loved to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I even bought like the series. I just really loved it. The
Mm.
15 seconds starts, but when Nene left, I kind of stopped watching altogether. I just really like Nene.
Oh, okay.
Eh, and is so the answer is it shows women empowering themselves. And you know, it's kind of true. Before I answer, Lorna Williams says A, B, C, D. I'm covering all my bases. I am giving up on you. um,
Wow.
the Nini was a prime example of somebody who can pull herself up by her bootstraps and makes good of herself. And she's one of those people who you wouldn't think so, but you know, she had really good feminine energy with Greg, that's her husband, even though she was a bit of a loudmouth. And when you look at it, it seems like she's very contrary because she has two dominant, well, should I say dominant? I think the louder part of her would seem to be the more dominant part of herself, but she was able to be that feminine with Greg, and I really loved that for her that she was able to experience that with him. What is the feminist aspect of the Real Housewives of New York as discussed in the podcast? A, women rely on men for their identity. B, women over 50 are shown in touch with their sexuality. C, it shows perfect female friendships. D, it excludes any negative portrayals of women. Uh, D, it excludes any negative portrayals of women.
Mm.
Mm,
Okay.
do you know, Lady Rose, you actually answered one of these questions. Women over 50 are shown in touch with their sexuality and independence. That is so true, though, don't you think?
Oh,
Don't you
definitely.
think?
You are more confident in yourself. You know yourself, and you know what you like and what you don't like.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Because without these kind of programs, like you just tend to think of women over 50 as people who are being put out to pasture.
You know what's funny about that? Women's sexual drive goes
Mm,
up 40s and 50s, just like men go, theirs go up in their 20s and
mm,
30s, or
mm,
10s, I should say, but ours goes up later on in life. And
mm.
so the question of why there's sometimes, older women and younger men, you know, just meet each other right at the same moment in different times in their life.
Mhm. Well, as always, we've got Little Mac who took the crown with the most correct answers.
Go, little Mac.
Yay! And then we have, who was it? Do you know, funny enough, Sussex Spotlight, it was never going to be more than 10 questions. After that, it becomes an exam.
Yeah, it do.
And do you know who answered, who is in third place?
Who?
Lady Rose. You know, she was answering everything A, B, C, D, E, F. She was the universal answerer.
The universal answer. You go, Lady Rose. You did it.
So, guys, we have come to the end of the archetypes quiz. Anyway, uh, uh, we have a few things planned, but I wanted to find out from you guys whether you would be happy for me to do a review on Spare. And after we've finished the review on Spare, we can then do a quiz on Spare. Some of the information in Spare, you don't even need to have read Spare at this point in time to have the information on it, right? You
Mm-hmm.
think, Sussex Love? I
That's
think
true.
there's a lot of the information which has now become common knowledge, which
Mm-hmm.
may be easier, I think, than than
Yeah.
even the archetypes with Megan podcast.
It it would be definitely a lot of things that people would just have to think back to because we've been with Harry through a lot of his life since
Mm,
Diana, you know, and
mm,
and we got into Meghan and Harry because of the great and to see what was going on with them. But I think we would know a lot of it, and even the ones that we don't know, we probably could figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But I when I got the book, I got the audio version because I wanted to hear his story. So
Mm,
I could probably still go over some of it. You know that I didn't remember anyway. But anyway, I think it would be good anyway because, like I said, a lot of it we could figure out. From the
mm.
way his life is. It'd be good. I don't know. I think it'll
Okay.
be a good idea.
Okay. Um, I got the audio as well when Spare first came out. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting that. After the first chapter, I was like, whoop, whoop, and I ran out to get the hard copy book. Yes, I did. And I
Yeah,
read it like three times before I put the book down. It sent me over the edge several times. Who knew Harry was
hmm,
that spiritual? That's one of the things that sent me because I wouldn't have
right.
put Harry and
Which is what
spiritual in the
sets him
same
apart
sentence.
from. But it's not because that's why I keep saying he's Diana's child because
Mm,
he has heart. The rest of them don't.
mm.
They just don't. That's why they can't figure out what's wrong and what it is Harry has. They can't figure it out because they think
Good night,
we're heirs. We
Lakiva.
should have it too.
Mm,
So, so he's different from them. His heart is different. His spirit is different from them. That's why he can empathize with people. That's why he cares about people. That's why him and Megan have such a deep connection. She cares. There's this girl on the internet, and I can't think of her name, but she did not the internet. She came on a show and she was saying she was, overweight because she's still a little overweight now. But at that time, she was saying she's going through a self identity crisis and she was overweight and something was happening. She was depressed, and I think maybe somebody had said something. Maybe they were going to school together. I'm not sure. But anyway, somebody had said something negative about it, and Megan took the time to write a letter to her to uplift her and make her feel better. And Megan didn't even really know her. He has heart, and Harry has heart. So, they were meant to be together. They found each other's person, you know.
mm-hmm. Good night, Gwen. Thank you for being here. Okay, guys, that's all I
Hey,
have.
Gwen.
I hope you had fun with me today. We'll definitely look at reviewing
I
The
did.
Spare. I will let you know what we're going to do next before the middle of the week. So you know whether to actually study for spare, or I might just give you a week in between so that you can recover from studying archetypes with Megan so
No, that's
intensely.
right.
So you need a vacation from studying now. All
No, that's
right.
right.
Take care of yourself. Take care. Take care, everyone. Take care, Sussex Love.
Bye,
We'll
Squatty
chat
family.
after
You
the
too. Bye,
podcast.
Weezy. Okay.
Bye. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye, fam.